Thank you for coming to Peaceful Village.
Hello everybody, Michael Lanfield here, and thank you for joining me. It's raining today, sunny and raining, sunny and raining, sunny and raining. Well, today's a beautiful day because I got another question at Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community. So thank you for being here, thank you for joining us. I am Michael Lanfield, and I am going to address a question. I never answer questions. I never answer questions. What I do is I address them. The reason I don't answer them is because it stops the thought process. I mean, there's so much more that probably can be said. So I got kind of two questions rolled into one. So one of them is about veganism or anarchism, that, oh, that's your opinion, that's your belief. I have another belief. That's your truth. I have my truth. And the other question is, oh, I'm 90% vegan. So, or 80% vegan, something like that. So let's talk about this kind of questions. So the first question is that, hey, what you're saying about the food that you eat and the clothes that you wear and all this kind of thing about veganism is your opinion or is your belief. That's your truth. I have another truth. Now, people think that there's different truths, but there's only one universal truth. Truly, universal laws or natural laws are, there's only one natural law, truly. If you sum up all the natural laws, you'll see that it's basically just about non-violence, about non-harm. So we are not harming other beings and nature as much as we can. So the least harm as much as possible, and also to ourselves. So to all beings, right? So this ties in with the other question, but the truth is not your belief, right? So if we harm another being, no matter if it's out of sight, if we just buy the animal flesh, the dead animal bodies, or the secretions like dairy or eggs or honey, or buying fur, leather, silk, down, all these animal clothing, or using animals for testing, experimentation as for pets, and rodeos and zoos and all those kind of things, circuses. That is not a belief. When we say, hey, I don't want to participate in any use, abuse, stealing, and killing of other beings, of any being, right? So that is not my belief. That is not, that's a truth because it comes from the Spirit. The Spirit is unconditional love. So when we steal from someone, even if it's 5% of the time, and the rest of the time you're not stealing, we're still stealing. So the other question is, well, I'm 90% vegan. First of all, we need to understand what veganism is. Veganism, again, people, for many times, I keep saying that veganism is not a diet. Has nothing to do with diet. Now, diet is a tricky word. Because diet, people think, oh, it has to do with food. Veganism is not a diet because it doesn't have to do just with food. It has to do with how we use non-human animals in multiple ways, in various ways, for clothing, for entertainment, for testing, for for food, this kind of stuff. Now, so veganism is a level of consciousness, right? It's a level of consciousness that doesn't see anyone, specifically non-human animals, as property, as things to be used, as commodities. So we don't see anything that comes from them to be used. Not their eggs, not their honey, not their wool, not their fur, not their leather, not for riding on them, not for transportation, not for work, not for anything. Right? So if it's a level of consciousness, that means that we understand and we know and we realize and we just don't want to participate in any use or abuse or killing or stealing from anyone. And in this case, because veganism is specifically about non-human animals, for non-human animals. And then you go further, because then when you don't want to harm non-human animals, you don't want to harm humans and nature and so forth as much as possible, right? So when one wants to harm much less, then eventually they become raw vegan, because raw veganism, there's much less harm, there's less packaging, less plastic, more natural food coming from nature, fruits, the veggies, this kind of things, tubers, yeah. So no one can be 90% or 80% or 50% vegan. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe what people mean to say is that I'm 90% plant-based, because plant-based is a very, very tricky word also. Based, I don't know what based could really mean, right? But many people say, many doctors say whole food, plant-based diet. So they call it a diet. That's all it is diet. It has to do with food. Has to do with food, okay? So the food part of it, right, is if it's solely just about food, what we're eating for food, right? Like leaving the animals alone. So we're not eating dairy, eggs, anything that comes from animals, their bodies, dead bodies, honey, this kind of stuff. Then we are just associated with what people call plant-based. Plant-based is a very tricky word. I don't even know truly what it means, because there's fungi that people eat, mushrooms and other fungus, or other fungi, because it's plural. Fungi is not a plant, it's a fungi. So there's plants, animals, minerals, and fungi. 4 different classifications: animals, plants, fungi, and minerals. Yeah. So there's no human in this case, because we are mostly animal, right? Mostly animal, 95% animal, something like that. So a belief, killing and stealing from animals, is not a belief, people. When we say, hey, I don't want to harm animals, that's not my truth. That is the universal truth of non-harm. Okay? So we need to realize this. The universal truth of non-harm applies to everyone. So if we're harming someone in some way, by stealing from them, or killing them, or abusing them, or using them for whatever, riding them, we rely on the non-human animal, and we ultimately, they don't have any consent. We have to break their spirit, their soul, their journey, whatever journey they're on, whatever mission or vision that they have, or whatever purpose that they have. We have to suppress that, because now I'm going to ride you, so now you're my purpose. My purpose is to ride you, and to get enjoyment from riding you, or to get my work done and to use you as transportation or for work or for food or for clothing or for whatever. So that's not a belief, people. That's not my truth. That's the universal truth. The universal truth is everywhere. Everywhere, inside of us, outside of us, the truth is God. Universe, Spirit, Sophia, Gaia, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. It's all truth. We are truth. But we've had that truth suppressed. We don't even know anymore what we're doing. We're killing, we're enslaving others. We are stealing from them. We're cutting down vast areas of forest. We don't know what we're doing. We are very, very unaware and very, very heavily suppressed and wounded. Culture and society has taught us to be violent. That's why there have been wars for thousands, if not tens of thousands of years. And war started because of animal agriculture. When we dominate another living species and we say, hey, I'm going to use you and abuse you and kill you, there's no way to truly to use non-human animals and not to abuse them in some way. You know, we're stealing from them their eggs, their honey, their milk. It's not ours. After we wean off our mothers, off our human mothers, that's it. After 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it takes, we wean off the mother's breast. And that's it. No more milk. If we want milk, we can get it from plant-based sources, from plant sources. Soy, almond, coconut, rice, all sorts of different, there's probably a dozen or more different types of kind of plant milks that we can use and we can drink from. So don't be a pervert and milk the cow. Go and milk the almonds instead. Okay? So, yeah, there's no way to be 90% vegan. And you know what? Like, some people say, well, I'm almost 100% vegan. You know, I'm 90% vegan. Right? The problem with this, people, is that why do we not just want to go further? Why do we not just want to like stop killing and stop stealing? Oh, once in a while I'll eat an organic chicken. Once in a while I'll eat an organic egg. Once in a while I'll do this or do that. It's like, okay, so once in a while I can be racist. Once in a while I can be sexist. Once in a while I can kill you. I can kill somebody because I feel like it. Once in a while, 90% I'm nonviolent, and the rest of the time I'm gonna steal from someone. I'm gonna murder someone. That doesn't make any sense, people. To say, hey, that is not harmonious. Harmonious living means that we are congruent with what our heart is all about, who we are as sovereign human beings. Our hearts are full of love. That is where the love comes from, baby. That is where love comes from. It's right there. It's so beautiful. It's the love in our hearts, the love in our minds, the love everywhere. Here, outside, everywhere, the love everywhere. And so when there's love, we don't want to steal from anybody. Even if it's once a month or once every few years. What the hell? Just get rid of it. Get rid of the dead bodies, people. Don't eat them any longer. We're not cave people any longer, where we needed to eat. Look, there's a supermarket, or there's, for goodness sakes, go get yourself a land, a big land or small land, whatever kind of land, a few hectares of land, or join a community somewhere in the warm tropical areas of the world and start growing all of your damn food. That's it. It's very simple. We can be completely self-sustainable. So we don't need to be killing animals and stealing from them, and anarchism, and that's another thing. Anarchism is just no rulers. It's like, I don't want to be a part as much as possible. I'm still transitioning, out of society and to nature, where we belong. Everybody belongs in nature. We have the components, all of our components. We came from the earth. We all came from the earth. At least the beings on earth, we all came from the earth. So when we die in this lifetime and we go on to our next lifetime, we are going to decompose, people, in the ground. Okay? So burials. And I'm not talking about the traditional burials or the burials of society, but burial is what we are meant to do. Yeah, bury ourselves in nature. Put some compost, put some seeds of some plants, or plant a big tree there, and you got a beautiful, whatever, durians or mangoes or chirimoyas or black sapote or South American sapote, whatever, whoever you want to put there. Whichever plant you want to put there is beautiful. It's beautiful because you don't have wasting space, just putting a dead body with a tombstone. So, that's another topic altogether. Death. And that's very important. Yeah, we all die. We all die in this lifetime when we go on to the next lifetime. But the spirit and the soul never die. Okay? Just the body. And even the body doesn't die. It just gets transformed and becomes humus at some point. Yeah! This is beautiful, people. Let's talk about this. If you want to know more about this kind of topics, click the, you know what it is, the thumbs, I don't know where it is, right here, down here. Click on the thumb up if you really want to see more of these videos, or click on the down, well, whatever you like. Click on the side thumb if there's anything like that. So, that's all I wanted to say, people. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Michael Lanfield, and don't forget, visit us at peacefulvillage.org. That's peacefulvillage.org, and you will see more about us and how to join us, how to get more information. We have books. We have all sorts of things. Yeah, the new Mother Earth is also there. So if you want to know more about all of this kind of thing, the new Mother Earth talks all about it. Please don't forget and remember that we are full of love, not violence. So love is the key. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.